Hello, everyone. This is the Rational Investor coming to you today. Today is Friday, July 18th, 2014. With your 5-minute BTC summary, I've got a stopwatch in front of me, so I got to make sure I really keep this to 5 minutes. All right, so probably about a minute and a half or so on each chart. Daily chart, nice counter trend rally up into the 38.2, which was also a 50% year to date levels. We've been consolidating off of this trend line now since middle of May, we'll call it. We recently put in a nice little double bottom here. Which was confirmed on this bar here. We came back down and tested that high here. That set up a pretty important level for me, 603.70. And yesterday we came down to 60. What did we get here? 605 even. And today we're deciding whether we want to accept or reject that. Off the daily charts, a little concerning momentum here. Of course, we're still working this bear momentum divergence. Willie's rolled over here, and OBV doesn't look very happy here. So not a lot to get excited about. I was feeling a little bit better that yesterday we sort of breathed a big sigh of relief. And today we're consolidating that sigh, but we haven't really confirmed that we're going to break out here. All right, so looking at the 4-hour charts, basically you can see how we have this trading range established here. A break of this range really implies some pretty big targets. If we break lower, then I think we're heading down into the OTE zone, which is, it looks like 577. That's a 70.5 fib. And a trend line, and also bear ABCD target. They all seem to line up in that area, so I'm really keeping an eye on that. If, however, we resolve this bullishly, then we have a pretty big bull ABCD pattern that comes into effect, and that's actually the bullish bot setup that I've been talking about off this 4-hour. That level, the 25% level, is around 609.60, so really I'm just going to use that as my proxy. I wouldn't have a problem really with buy on stops, really on a break of this high here, and that's sort of what I've been talking about recently. We zoom in on the 1-hour. We can see that the trading range here is pretty well defined just over the past day or two. If we zoom out on this 1-hour, there's that 629.60 high. Here's the 603.70 low. We came down and tested it, and the other day I really did think we were going to break down through the low, but we didn't. We held the 603.70 level. And made a low of 605 right in here, and then we jackknifed higher. That jackknife higher just so happened to be, and right as I left off yesterday, if this had continued and it just powered its way up through 629.60, then that 4-hour bot comes alive, and really I have no problem being long, and I would take the long once I get the PAMP set up, and of course I'm hearing lots of feedback about that, so I know I'm working on it. All right, so we did rally. We rallied right into the OTE short sweet spots and really the whole zone. And we actually put in a bearish inside bar, so interesting to see that. The risk reward setup on that trade, maybe one of your criteria is 1-hour OTEs, and the second criteria is inside bar candlestick, and maybe your third criteria is maybe some sort of overbought rating. All perfectly valid. Trading setups are, there's a bunch of them out there, and this is definitely one of them. It was confirmed on a move below this Harami's low here, so that's 620. and the 2-to-1 risk reward would have been down here. Basically, all you're suggesting is off of this move, we're going to get a 61.8, and you can see it teased you a bit here, rallied back, and then came down and hit that target. So, that trade worked. It was pretty good looking setup there. I pointed out, on various chat rooms and stuff like that, Mr. Mountain Man's trade, of course, comes in here on a 61.8 tag. He just buys it, and sure enough, the market rallied away from that. And I suppose he would probably take partial profits on this resistance level here and stops to break even on the remaining. So he would actually been stopped out here on this move down here because it did go lower. And really, my hunch is we have another double top now working. And we say whenever the market's smiling at you, hopefully you can see the eyes and the mouth, it's getting ready to take your money away from you. So with the move down here, and especially this nice big chunky close down here, my feeling is that this larger bear ABCD pattern is still very much in effect. And that would simply paint a target down here near this 88.6 fib, or this D point here, way down here. Interesting, we are getting a bit of a counter trend rally, and depending on how this candle closes, this candle just started, so I would definitely like to see how this candle closes. We might get a nice fractal here, which would break this bearish sentiment. We'll see how this candle goes, as I said. And the double top, there's stops up here and there's stops up here. I've said all along here that taking these trade setups, for me, it's just not enough reward versus the risk. I mean, we're talking about 619 down to 612, a whopping $7 of reward. You're more than welcome, to take the levels and trade with them as you would. I think they're plain as day. When you get double tops, when you get, haramis, and when you have 50% levels and OTEs, they're all perfectly valid. It's just a question of, does it fit into your trading plan? So interesting action here into the day. I've probably gone over my 5 minutes. I think I'll leave it at that. You guys have yourselves a great day, and if you want to learn more about what I'm thinking, go ahead and watch the longer video. It's still up on YouTube now in the free service. So have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.